Hello folks, and welcome back to another Wise Game video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the public test realm, also called the PTR for Shadowlands pre-patch. This is pretty much going to be a continuation of the first video that I released to do with Shadowlands PTR. So I'm going to try to link both videos together so you can watch them as a playlist. Because my first video will have some information that I won't be covering in today's video, and the same with the first video that I made, I did not cover every detail. So what am I talking about? We're going to be looking at more to do with starting off as a level 1 character, and then what to do on a level 50 character in the public test realm. And also, what's the different options between what we call new players and veteran players. So it can be a bit confusing, and these are questions that I asked on the PTR on a daily basis. Because there is differences between what each account can do. So first let's sum up. For new players, those are players that never made a character or played in Battle for Azeroth, which will give those players less options. A veteran player is somebody who did make characters in Battle for Azeroth and has been playing the game right along. Veteran players will be given more options, and that's what we're going to be looking at mainly in today's video. So with all that being said, let's get started with the public test realm continuation video 2 for Shadowlands pre-patch. Now again, if you're not sure how to get involved in the public test realm, my first video will have that information. So once you've created your character and you're a level 1 now, and you enter the game, you're going to get this screen to show with this option. And those two options are either Exile's Reach or your home faction area for your class. But now new players will only get the option of Exile's Reach. Veteran players will get both options. I advise everybody checking out definitely Exile's Reach, seeing that is the newest content for this public test realm. Now once you log into the game and you're on your way to Exile's Reach, this cutscene's going to happen where you're on this boat. The big X going across the screen is perfectly normal during the public test realm. Now upon first logging into the public test realm, you may see this pop up with PH all over it. This is not accurate, so don't worry about this because most of this content is not in the public test realm. I even asked a few players what does the PH mean, and they says they have no clue. Again, this is the pre-patch, so this is mainly Battle for Azeroth content except for what we see here with Exile's Reach. And the cap level again is only level 50, it is not 60. So doing things like class convents and all those things are not implemented in the public test realm. Now once you arrive at Exile's Reach, it's a small continent or a large island, with about an hour or so's worth of quest lines to do. Now at this point of the game, we do not have a hotstone, and we also have no way of leaving this island. So yes, once you arrive here, you are stranded here until you complete the full quest line and then the dungeon at the end. This is basically a tutorial PTR for brand new players that's new to World of Warcraft. So they're going to have quests later on about setting your hotstone, getting your first mount, and also going over your talent builds once you hit level 10. So for veteran players, I advise do not set up your character yet, even once you reach level 10 with the talent trees, until you get the quest to tell you to do so. So now basically you just want to do every quest that's available for you. Now at times these quests can bug out. It is a public test realm. And if that happens, you're pretty much stuck now until Blizzard gets around to fixing it. It happened to me and I was stuck here for about 2 days. And the quest that's notorious for this is called the Rescue of Meretti Huntswell. A lot of times once you approach her, or he, it will not kick in. Nothing will happen. And if that happens, then it's bugged. But as we see here, we do have mobs that are kicking in, so that means that the quest is working at this time. Now, on the forums, they claim the culprit of this is hunters taming the beast that we have to kill to complete this quest. Come to find out, they're able to tame it. And if they tame the beast, which we see right here, he's not going to be available now for the quest line. Well, I should say for this quest. So hopefully by now, Blizzard did fix this where hunters can no longer tame it. Now, shortly after completing this quest, you should now be able to continue with your quest line, which is eventually going to take you up to the dungeon. Now we could see that the quest got completed. Now there is another quest. They suggest that it's a 3-player quest, and it's a bear. And if you can't fight this bear by yourself, don't worry about it. You'll still be able to continue on without completing that quest. Once you complete the last few quests, it's going to take you to these NPCs that are standing just outside of the dungeon Darkmaul Citadel. You just got to turn all these in, and then eventually you're going to get the quest to do the dungeon. Now, to do the dungeon, you have to use Group Finder, which is located in the very bottom right of your toolbars, or you could open it by pressing the I key. But now you don't need to play with other actual players. Again, this is just to train new players to World of Warcraft about using the Group Finder feature. There are 2 NPCs that are going to come and help you with the dungeon. One's a tank and one's a healer. And we can see right now that that's the only dungeon that's showing up right now in Group Finder. So just accept that. In a few seconds, I'll take you inside the dungeon. Now just navigate your way through the dungeon, and you could also open up the map and it's going to show you the inside of the dungeon and where to go. It's not a very long dungeon at all. Eventually you're going to come to this last area right here with these last 2 bosses that you have to kill. Again, let the tank NPC pick up the aggro and then start hitting. They're very simple fights. And again, at the level that we're at, we don't have very many abilities, so just use whatever you have. And there we go. Completed. And that's basically it for Exile's Reach, guys. So once you completed the dungeon, a little cutscene's going to kick in, and you're eventually going to arrive now for the Alliance at Stormwind. And for Horde players, I assume that you guys are going to arrive at Orgrimmar. And by the way, seeing I am covering the Alliance side, a lot of these steps and quests are the same for the Horde on Exile's Reach. It's just the names and the NPCs are different. And that's basically it, guys. So you should be around level 9 or 10 right now as you exit Exile's Reach. So now for the Alliance players, here we are at Stormwind. For new players, that's how the quests operate, what I have on the screen. And this is the main capital city for Alliance players. So basically what you want to do is just enter the town right here, or the city, and you want to pick up any available quest that you see. Again, this is being a tutorial for new players, and it's going to explain to them exactly what the hot stone does, how to set it up, and also their talent builds. And also how to activate their first mount. So again, pick up and complete every quest that you come across. And then eventually, after completing all the quests in Stormwind, it's going to take you out to the Battle for Azeroth area, Borrowless Harbor for the Alliance, and Zuldazer for the Horde. As we see here. Once you arrive at Borrowless Harbor for the Alliance, there's going to be another series of quests. And most of these quests, again, are an introductory and a tutorial for new players also. Like, for example, meeting up with the Harbor Master. Also, locating and speaking to the Innkeeper. And then finding and speaking to the Flight Master. Where eventually it's going to take you on a quest where you have to activate the portal room. So for Alliance players, it's going to make it now where you go back to the Mage Tower. Now for the Alliance, once you activate the portal room, you can now go back to Stormwind. Now this is where the game separates between veteran players and new player accounts. New players will only have the option of staying in Battle for Azeroth. So you will be doing Battle for Azeroth zones and quests that scale down to your level. For veteran player accounts, they're going to have the option of either staying in Battle for Azeroth or going back to earlier expansion areas. Now there's nothing in the game at the time that I did this that lets you know about this feature. So there's no breadcrumb trails or there's no quest that takes you to Chromie, which is located very north in Stormwind City, called the Embassy. Now we could speak to Chromie and she will give us the options to go to these earlier expansions. So right now at this time we have 6 different choices. And this will set you up now where you can go back to the past expansions and zones that you once enjoyed playing. And they all scale down to your level. Unfortunately, the new player accounts will not have Chromie as an option. So Chromie is only available to players level 10 to 49. She does not offer any options for level 50s. And I did forget to mention that level 50s are usually copy character toons that come in from Battle for Azeroth as a level 120. And then for other levels that you copy over, there will be a percentage squish as far as your level goes. For an example, my Warlock was 111 on Battle for Azeroth and is now level 45. And that's about it when it comes to the details of leveling a level 1 character. Now once a level 50 logs into the public test realm at this time, they're going to get a quest to show up called an urgent request. So yes, Blizzard did put back at this moment the quest line for level 50s for the pre-patch. But a couple of weeks ago, as I stated in my first video, they didn't have this quest line any longer. They go through different phases where they take certain things in and out of the PTR. Now everybody has the option of leveling to level 50. And of course, veteran players having the option of copying over a character, a level 120 from Battle for Azeroth, to the PTR, which will become an instant level 50. And now that the option's back for the quest line, just follow each quest until you eventually end up in Icecrown. Icecrown, as we know, for veteran players, that's Wrath of the Lich King times in Northrend. That's where a good bulk of the quest line is going to take place. And the very first couple of quests are going to be around the Eastern Kingdom areas like Duskwood. Now here is a list of the pre-quests before you go out to Icecrown. And this is for the Alliance. And here is a list for the Horde players. Again, these lists do not show all the quests once you go out to Icecrown. And the main plot and enemies in the PTR right here is called the Scourge. So that's why Invasion of the Scourge. Now once we're in Icecrown, there is quite a few quests out here to do to complete this quest line. Now you're going to notice that sometimes it's snowing. Whenever it's snowing, you're going to get an effect on you, which is a debuff. It slowly takes away your health. And I believe it's called Chill Wind, or something along those lines. But then indicated on the map by large dots, you're going to see bonfires. And if you stand next to a bonfire for a couple of minutes or so, it's going to make it where the chill effect goes away. I didn't find this effect to be very helpful because as soon as you step away from the bonfire, the effect wears off, and if it's still snowing, you could get the chill wind effect again. And I never really noticed a decrease in my health. Now there is quite a bit of quest out here to complete, so it's going to keep you well entertained for maybe about an hour or so. And then once you complete it all, it's eventually going to send you back to Stormwind. As we see here, once you hand it in, that's pretty much it for the quest line for level 50s, the Scourge, which now you will get the achievement, Death Rising. Now, as I said in my first video for the PTR, once this is complete, there's not much else for the level 50s to actually do. You could go over your class changes, duel a little bit, maybe hit some target armies, things along that nature, just to check out what some of your new class changes are. But don't forget, guys, it is public test realm, and things can change at any time. So I hope that this video helped you guys with some of the information that I shared today. As always, thanks for stopping by and watching Wise Gamer. Feel free to sub up for more future killer videos. Comment down below because we love to hear from you. Until then, you guys have yourself a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.